You will never have an interview in which they don't ask you this question. And they're gonna ask it right away. And those first 3 minutes are crucial. So if you don't absolutely crush this interview question, you're probably not gonna get the job. And in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to do just that. I'm gonna teach you how to answer the classic interview question, tell me about yourself. Let's go. Now, first things first. The first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes of an interview have been shown to disproportionately impact the outcome of your interview. So you have to crush the first 3 minutes and you have to crush the last 3 minutes. And one of the questions you will most likely always be asked, and right out of the gate, is tell me about yourself. So there are certainly other things you need to do to get off to a great start in your interview, but you need to have a great answer for this question. And it's funny because it should be an easy question, but so many people get it wrong. So I'm going to give you a framework on how you can answer this and how you can build the perfect answer to answer this question that you will literally always get in just about every interview. Now we're going to break it down into 3 steps. And step 1 is you need to tell them a little bit like a broad overview of who you are and why you are interested in this type of role. Now, it's important that this step only takes you about 20 to 40 seconds, right? This should be relatively quick. This is Cliff Notes. This is just giving them high level about you, what you do, why you're in this type of work, right? So it should be fairly easy. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna do it for myself. Well, I've spent my entire career in recruitment. I've worked on both the corporate side and the agency side, increasing my responsibility and impact throughout every single step of my journey. Now, currently, I manage a team of 30 recruiters. I'm no longer involved actively in recruiting. I'm mostly in strategy and leadership. I've really enjoyed this industry because I'm a strong communicator, and that's like 90% of what you do in recruitment, and I love interacting with people. So engaging with clients, leading people on my own team has always been incredibly fulfilling for me. Now, the second part of this formula is you want to give them a few highlights of your career, and you specifically want to give numbers, right? So you want to give numbers if you can. I call this quantifying your impact, and it's a way for you to share the ways you have made an impact and move the needle for different organizations in your career. Now, if you're giving numbers, I like to use the most recent stop I'm on. You know, if you've been in your most recent job for a while, there's probably a good opportunity there to share what you've done. In all likelihood, it's the biggest stop of your career. Most of the time, you're going up in your career. So whatever you're doing now is probably the most significant role. So I like to use an example from there. So after you're done talking about who you are, your background, why you chose the industry, then you want to seamlessly transition into this next part where you share some of the numbers. So I would continue off and I'd say something like this. You know, in my current role, I started off with a team of 2, but I've built that to a team of 30. And over that time, I've increased our fill percentage to be the highest in the company, filling 90% of our roles, and we're one of the most profitable teams within the organization. Finally, in closing, you want to share why you're interested in this role, why this role is a good fit for you at this time in your career. And what I like to do is I like to align what's in the job description with what I've done in my career and align that as my why, right? So if you're reading the job description, it talks about growing and scaling and building a team and training. Those are the things you want to mention here. So, you do the first part, high level, who you are, why you're interested in the role. You want to quantify your impact in your most current role, and then you want to finish by talking about why you're a good fit for this role, why you're interested in this role. And it might sound something like this. And I specifically am interested in this role because reading through the job description, it said a lot about building and growing a team and using metrics to evaluate performance. And that is what I am super passionate about doing. I've done that a lot more in the last couple of years of my career, but I'd love to expand on that and join a company that's looking for me to do that as a major function of my role. And there you go. That is a strong way to hit all 3 facets of answering this question. Who am I, right? So you talk about your broad overview of who you are, what you've done in your career, ending with why you like the industry. Then you want to talk about the impacts you've made in your current role, and then you want to finish with why you're a good fit and why you're interested in this specific opportunity. And if you can do those 3 things, you are going to crush it. Now, in the beginning of this video, I talked about the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes, and I made a video about it. It's this video right here. It's how to get a job in 6 minutes, and I basically talk about how to crush the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes. And since I teased it at the beginning, this is probably a good place to go now. So I am done here, but I will see you over there.